Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. Looks like we have all board members here except for Mr. Shear. But we do have a quorum.
Carol.
Oh, and Carol. He's also not.
Sorry, that better slip up.
Yeah. But we still do have a quorum. Next is approval of the consent agenda, which is the minutes from the October regular board meeting and the October financials.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? And public comment. Public comment. Committee reports. We've got our student representative report, but we'll let the other ones go and then you guys can go. We'll save the best for last, as they say. And we'll start with finance.
Finance met just prior to this meeting. Obviously, Ben was not in attendance, but Mary so graciously sat in for the audit presentation. She was cheering the entire time. We covered October financials, including payables, all the balance sheets, etc., the credit cards, and then we spent the vast majority of the meeting with Patrick, who's going to cover the audit later in this meeting.
Thanks, Steve. Personnel.
I can take that one. Well, we
Sure.
talked about the bond. That was a hot topic at that point, and good success for us there. So, but we talked about that, and then also the new makeup of the administrative team and how well that's going with Ashley.
Thank you, Kurt. And academic affairs.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
we met, feel free to add on, and we had both of our principals, and we went over professional development that's going on both ends of the building. It's been revamped a little bit and seems like it's been really productive. And we got a preview of the one that they were supposed to have on the day after Halloween, which they were able to get in a couple of days later. I think we also talked a little bit about the bond. Is there something else?
Those are the main things.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary. And student representative report. We have two from the environmental club, Evan and Sophia.
Third.
And
Oh, and a third, we have three. That's why I
I'm
thought
gonna
we've got
jump
a
in
lot of
and
people
brag.
down that end of there.
I'm gonna jump in and
we're gonna
brag
let-
on for a
yeah.
minute.
Okay,
before they
fantastic.
go. So, Evan, Thea, and Olivia, we had Olivia join in too. They're all part of our environmental club and just rock star students, not just in the environmental club, but in all the ways. You will see them at all of the events and multiple clubs, volunteering, doing multiple things. I think Evan was just doing a bake sale on Friday for Pride Club and just a variety of things. So these kids are active and involved and just some of our top students, and they're going to talk a little bit about environmental club, mostly about environmental club and what's going on, but also some other things. But they're the best of the best, so we're excited that they're here. It's all you guys.
I'm Evan. I'm the vice president. So starting with like our club mission, we're like looking to spread environmental stewardship throughout the school and like education and advocacy for environmentalism. We also work on projects like hosting Arbor Day, with a tree planting usually later in the year, having a succulent sale. We also meet once a week at lunchtime. Our advisor is Mr. Jarvis, the science teacher here. And our greater goal is to maintain the Green School Award that we've been granted. We have the highest status of Evergreen, which we are one of 137 schools in Michigan, and that's K through 12 schools.
And then as far as activities go, we've been super productive this year. We have a recycling committee. They recycle weekly at Norristown, and that's been super great. We also have been keeping the library garden. We've done that 3 or 4 times this year, and along with the courtyard right here. Then we've also planted milkweed seeds out at the new trail, the 88 trail for the outdoor classroom. We had a field trip this past week to McLaughlin Grows Urban Garden, which is like a garden where they compost and what's it called? They grow plants and stuff there. And then we've also had a new education committee. They started a bulletin board in the hallway with lots of new information there, which you can see if you'd like.
Hi, my name's Olivia, and I'm the secretary of the club. And so we know that our class, the class of 24, we really want to make an impact on the school before we leave, and we would like to continue the improvement and upkeeping the courtyard and the library garden, because that gets overgrown a lot, and we like to go down there every once in a while and kind of upkeep it to make sure it looks good. And we'd like to establish a trailhead at the top of the 88 trailhead, so down by the outdoor classroom, to make it more wheelchair accessible. And then we are right now attempting to start composting within the school and kind of collab with the cafeteria and the kitchen staff and see if we can make use of the food scraps and stuff. And I also encourage you guys to follow our social media, so our Facebook, we're NM Environmental Club, or Instagram if you use that, and just kind of check out the things that we do there, and that would really help, so yeah.
We have some stickers as well.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that.
That is super cute.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the update.
Good information.
Okay, as we said before, those are always, one of the highlights is when we get to hear students speak in our presentations. Today, we do have a presentation. A tough act to follow, though, Patrick. It's talking about that and the students, but give it your best shot and tell us all about the audit.
Hi, my name is Patrick Muchler. I'm a partner with Brickley DeLong. I do apologize I didn't bring these stickers, and I appreciate you sticking me after that presentation. But anyway, I'm sure y'all came to hear the audit report today. So if you can turn to your audit report to page 1, which is the independent auditor's report. Report is several pages long now, but they did move the opinion right to the top, which is very useful. First paragraph will highlight what we're giving an opinion on. The second paragraph is the opinion, which is what we refer to as a clean or unmodified opinion. Basically what that means is, as auditors, we're happy with your financial statements as presented. And as you skip back to, skip all the way back to page 15, and this is your statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance. Now, this is really the statement that the state of Michigan, when you're submitting your numbers, these are the ones that they monitor and they evaluate you based on. You can see the general fund had a small increase in fund balance. The debt service had a decrease in fund balance, but that was because you accelerated and paid down some debt this last year. And then you've got a column called the other governmental funds, just to highlight so you kind of know what that is. Obviously, you know you have your student activities, you've got your athletics, and then you also have the school lunch fund. Basically, if it's not a large fund, they want you to kind of crunch those down into one set of numbers, so you focus on the bigger funds and look at those. So that's kind of what the other governmental funds is. And then you've got a total on the outside. Once again, if you flip back to the budget to actual, is located toward the rear of the statements on page 41. And you can see on page 41, if I just kind of went a little more detail with the finance committee, I always focus a little bit more on your original budget, and I can see the administration did a very good job with the original budget. There were some changes, but school districts always got this nice chore of actually adopting their budget before they know what their funding is, so that's not uncommon. But once again, it's actually did a very good job in the original budget, so I applaud them on that. And then see the final and everything is really close to your budget. The only item that is over was operations and maintenance, and you can thank the auditors because there was 2 new standards. There was one last year for leases, and there's one this year for tangibles. And basically, the one that took effect last year was for leases of equipment, and you leased copiers this year, so we had to go through and record that. So that's where that variance came from. They were $205,000, the variance is $152, so we accounted that entry accounted for the entire change. Outside of it, everything was within budget. And then page 42, you can kind of, toward the back, these are just kind of your pension and your OPEB. There's for everybody in the school, there's basically two different plans. You've got your pension for retirement funding and OPEB to cover your health care and retirement. And so there's separate schedules for each. So you can kind of see them moving around, but there's been a lot of changes. They're changing the assumptions in those plans, as well as the stock market's been a roller coaster the last few years, which is also causing those numbers to move around a lot. But those are some of the big variances. If you want to kind of track to see how those are doing, that's a good way to look at it. And those schedules are basically tracking the allocation of the liability at the state level to the schools. But once again, it's really, to a certain extent, almost irrelevant on those liabilities, because they're going to assess your rate every year. As long as you pay your rate, that's really all you really need to do from year to year. That's a real quick one, and Mark told me I could get done in 5 minutes, he'd be happy. So,
Yes.
But anyway, any questions? Because really that's the reason why I'm here, is to look through them and ask questions, really give you an opportunity. We received a couple other letters, and those letters really cover all my communication I'm required to do. So really I'm just here to see if anybody have anything else that they'd like to inquire about.
I just want to chime in and thank Patrick and his team since, and we've been with Rick Ladle for a bit now, and they continue to be great to work with and very professional, and we've got a good relationship with the whole crew there that comes in and out and asks for reports and everything else that goes into the audit. So thank you, Patrick. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to echo, there is certainly makes us board members feel good. We've got a great team that reviews all this stuff. There's obviously a lot, it's in-depth, and to hear them when the finance committee talk about all these various new GASB policies and this and that, they obviously know their stuff, and they answer the questions that we do have. So it certainly gives us a great level of confidence that we're doing things the right way and that we're on the right track. So appreciate that from both Patrick and Brickley, plus Mark, Jess, and everybody else that works on that. Any other questions or comments for Patrick? Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
By the way, you guys don't have to stay. If you don't want to, you don't have to stay. If you want to, it's pretty. All right, back on to new business then. First, we've got the second reading and approval of 5 different policies that we reviewed a little bit at the last meeting.
Yep, we had very minimal questions on that. I think everything was answered, and they're ready for approval as long as the board is all pleased with it. Haven't heard that that's not the case.
I move that we approve the policy updates.
Support?
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt the new policy updates. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and opposed? Next is the acceptance of the 22-23 financial audit that we just heard the presentation of. We have copies of it.
I would motion to approve the 2022-23 financial audit as presented by Patrick and Berkeley DeLong.
Support.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we accept the financial audit. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 And opposed. And next, the sale of the bonds resolution. This is on the agenda because we had a successful bond passage.
Does this need to be roll called or not?
Yes.
Yeah, this is an exciting one to have on.
Yes, yeah. So this
Put
is
the finishing touches on a job well done by everyone in this room. So thank you, and thank you to our community.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to go to good use and be handled in the proper way. So look forward to that. So if there's any questions or comments?
The only comment I had is in the very beginning where it says present members. It's only showing Will.
That's because I didn't know who else at the time, if anyone else was not going to be here, but
Yes.
Will had told me he was gonna be here, and I knew Carolyn and Ben were not.
Okay,
That's the
perfect.
only reason.
Everyone else.
The rest of it will be
added.
filled in
Yeah.
before Carolyn signs tomorrow.
Perfect. I would motion to approve the resolution authorizing the, what are we calling it? The sale of the bonds as presented and adjusted.
Support.
All right, been moved and seconded with appropriate adjustments to the members present to approve the bond resolution, sale bond resolution. All those in favor, please say aye.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call, that's right, we got roll call. Start with Mrs. B.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 All righty. Okay, we've got some information points here. I know we've got a few people signed up for the School Board Alliance dinner.
Lisa, Ben, Steve, and myself, and if anyone else is willing and able to join, just let Christy know.
It's super fun.
But I need to know tonight. Tonight is the
I
last.
did look. What day of the week?
I'm still good.
I think it's a
Wednesday, I
Wednesday
believe.
at the country club, correct?
Lake House, Lake Bluff Grill.
Okay, I'll check. Okay, great. And Neff?
Norse Education Foundation. So we have some changes coming. We're adding some new members. I think I'll wait till the next meeting until it's all confirmed. Dorsey Sherman, our chairman for the last several years, I don't know, 3+, I think she took over during COVID. 3+ years, has stepped back, and we're gonna really miss her. Shelley Vanderlyn has also stepped back. She figured that she has been here on the board for 20 years, and she thought that was time. Neff is actually 35 years old right now, we found out. Christy did a little bit of research for us. Started with one donation back in 1988. Is that what it was? 88, yeah, with one donation. And now we've grown to fund balance of $2.3 million. So, so a lot of momentum, exciting, bringing in some new younger parents, parents of younger children. But if anybody knows anybody that is interested, please have them approach one of us or Christy, because we're always looking for new people to get involved. And we are doing our end of the year campaign, and we do request again that everybody on the board and administration please consider making a donation to support us, not just financially, but symbolically as we support the schools and your mission and our students. So we'll be sending out information to this group, but also to past donors and to other people in the community over the next few weeks, and try to hit our end year goal again. We've been successful the last couple of years, so yeah, exciting time for North Education Foundation. Can't wait to see what happens next year, as we have a whole year of being able to make some more significant grants. And so if you know a teacher, give them a little nudge, start thinking about grants. So that's it. Do you have anything to add, Christy?
You got it.
Great, thank you. And we've got a preliminary board meeting review schedule passed around for everybody to take a look at.
Yeah, well, the only thing I would point out, it's pretty much the standard calendar we've been using for the last several years. The only change is we did anticipate the need for another meeting in February relative to the May bond election, so we put that in now versus trying to set up a special meeting, because there's a timeline that we have to fall between, like a 7-day period. So we put that in ahead of time. So if anyone's wondering why is there 2 in February when there hasn't been, that's the reason. Other than that, it's consistent.
It may not fall on this date, but we will know for sure by the January meeting when we set this calendar. Mark is working on that.
Perfect. Great. Thanks for the head start on that. And we will start with board comments. Start with Kurt.
I could steal a whole lot of thunder from all the rest of you as it gets to, because there's so many positive things happening right now. Obviously, there's a lot of hype and energy and excitement around our football team, which is really, really fun. But there's also just been so many other things. If you saw on the app today, we got a very distinguished award from AP, from College Board, in regards to not only our kids' performance, but I'm more proud that the makeup of the students at North Muskegon that are taking AP classes, minority students and other, all involved at a level higher than would be expected or the norm. So I liked that part of that designation as much as I liked the performance part. So that was cool. And I just shout out to Mr. Friesner and his crew. They put out an incredible event last Friday, and I let Phil know that it's one of the most proud things that I've been able to attend in my career, 14 years here, and truly mean that. It's just going to get better, but it was great. So there's so many other things I'd love to keep going, but I don't want to get in the way of what you guys might want to throw in there. So thanks.
I'd like to thank Phil for his involvement with the breakfast for the veterans. It was very nice. Got to meet all of them, and it was just really a cool experience to talk to them. I'd also like to wish our team the best, because they are the best.
I would certainly echo those comments, as well as I just want to say in comments, thank you to Patrick and Brickley DeLong for all their work, but more importantly is the work Mark, Jess, Christy, and then I know there's a lot of others involved, but those 3 are obviously very, very involved in the audit. Thank you for your efforts.
Yep, I'll echo all those, and also thought it was a nice testament to our town and the connection between the school and the city and everything, and dealing with the Halloween situation and all the various communications. And it sounds like all that worked really, really well, and what was quite a day. And glad that all got taken care of. I know there's a tree issue we still have to deal with out by the fields, but might be some good that comes out of that too. So that was the only thing I wanted to add in addition, as I already said.
Okay. And everything, just about everything that I was going to say has been said, so I'm just going to echo that, all of these wonderful accolades. And I also we've said this before, but thank you. You guys actually stuck around till the end, so I'm going to thank you again. It's really awesome to have you guys here, and the old format was nice too, but this I think is a little bit more powerful because we're getting to see the leaders of the different organizations come, and we get to see what you're doing and your passion, and I just think it's more impactful for us in the community. And so I thank you guys for taking your time to come and share that with us, and for what you do for the school. And I want to thank Jen for kind of thinking out of the box and coming up with a different platform.
That's my idea. I think somebody suggested it at the board retreat. I'm pretty sure it was somebody else's idea. I don't know.
You made it happen.
But thank you. I'm pretty sure one of you guys suggested it.
Okay,
Maybe
well, I
Beth.
think whichever one.
Jen, just take it. Just take it.
We ran with it, Jen, which is what we love about you. So thank you.
Wow. absolutely everything I was gonna say has already been
Well,
said.
next time we'll start with you.
Thank you guys for coming. You actually stuck around. You brought us presents, so best student group so far.
Not the
Yeah.
competition.
It is not a competition, but you guys are winning. So, yeah, and just hopefully everything goes well on Saturday, driving up basically to the bridge, which I don't know, I feel like every game this season, like there were so many blowouts. I'd be like, oh, it'd be cool to like see some closer ones, but then like in the playoffs, they've all been like taking years off my life. So I need something that we're gonna win, but like it's still fun to watch. So yeah. Because I've noticed like all the cheerleaders actually watching.
So stressful.
Yeah, the last two games, I think this second half, there have been maybe like 2 or 3 cheers, and everyone else is just like ripped watching it. So it's been real fun.
All right, you guys have anything else you want to add, feel free, otherwise. No. No, really, thanks for coming.
Yeah,
You did a nice job.
All right, we are adjourned. Go Norse.